Kia ora, dear listener or viewer. Welcome to Zealand. Now, Zealand is set in a post-apocalyptic world, so it goes without saying that we will be exploring some of the darker natures of humanity. So if you're squeamish or the idea unsettles you, take your chance now to walk away. For now, we return to Zealand.
Kia ora, guys, gals, and legionnaires. Rycon here, and welcome back to Zealand. This is part 2 of chapter 1 of season 3, Reunions. In the last episode, we had the start of a reunion between Jake and everyone else at the reserve. We were reintroduced into their world, into their life 5 years after the end of the apocalypse. Towards the very end of the episode, though, we did have Skulk noticing some silhouettes, 3, that seemed to be on top of the bloodied hill. You could just kind of make them out. And I say silhouettes because it's still kind of early morning. The sun is up at this point, but, there's a little bit of shade going on from the big tree that's atop that hill that is cutting out your view of who is currently up there. Nick, my good man, you are being brought across on a dinghy currently. You're with Charles, and Charles looks a lot different from how you remember him. He's rocking a ponytail, he's got himself a nice little goatee going on, he's rocking Hawaiian shirts, and a nice singlet underneath, and, he's looking like a pretty chill guy. And when he sees you, he gives you a big hug, like a big warm hug, and he just says, "It's good to see you again. Good to have another familiar and friendly face." And he brings you onto his boat, starts rowing you back towards this place, and it looks different, man. There have been some changes in 5 years since you've been gone, and you're a little eager to get back towards the others. You've left Hogan on the plane by himself. He seems to be pretty comfortable with that. He doesn't really want to leave the thing alone at this stage. It's well anchored in place. And you're brought up towards the outer gates that sit just around about above head height before you're brought up and into the MDC proper. Now, Scott, Jake, and everyone else is moving up through the stairs at this stage. And Jake, this place looks similar in some aspects, but there have been changes. And one thing that you're noticing is that everything's a little bit more worn than it was before. The floors are slightly dirtier, albeit they have been cleaned from time to time. But you can see that the bottom level especially is very dark. All the windows have been sealed off. There's no real light in here. When you do come through, just a little wind-up torch is used just to make sure that no one trips over anything. The hallways are very clear, though. You make your way up the stairs, up towards the second level, and then finally up towards the top of this place. And as you're making your way up the top, looking through one of the outer windows, once you get up there, Scott, you can see Nick wandering along up towards this place with Charles at his side. All the while, Skulk, you're now on top of the accommodation building, by your shack, kind of up against your shack, making yourself not visible to potentially any onlookers. What's your first move as the others start to filter into the level beneath you?
Grab a telescope and have a look at those figures on the hill.
You whip out the telescope, you start trying to place it back over where you saw them. Roll perception for me. This is just flat at this stage.
No.
No, okay. There's a moment where you're thinking, maybe it's just, the plane and the others turning up that's kind of got you on edge. You definitely saw something. You saw something, but maybe there's just that little part of you in the back of your mind you're thinking, maybe it was just a shadow. Maybe my mind was playing tricks on me. But that doesn't quite sit right with you. You're not quite settled yet. And so you keep on searching, you keep looking around, and you can't see anything up there right now. Are you going to stay looking? Or?
I just want to quickly scan through the radio again.
Okay.
And then I want to see if I can contact my contact and see if I can get anything through.
Okay. Alright, so you go over, again, pulling your hides off your desk, unveiling your equipment that's beneath there, and you start to cycle through the radio stations. You're listening, you don't hear anything. And so you flip over onto the channel where you have been talking to someone for the past 5 years. And just before you do that, we'll check in with the others downstairs. Jake, you're brought into the top level of this place, and it's alive with activity when you come up there. You're greeted by two, well, what were kids, but they're older. Elsa, when you left, was only 3 years old. Now 9. Thereabouts. Okay, there was no birth certificate.
Well,
you don't know for sure. Yeah, you don't know for sure. Okay, I've got one. Thank you. I'm saying estimations based upon a guesstimation of age. And you can see Olivia as well. It's like in her teens. She's grown up without her mother, sadly. But you also see Lulu in there as well, who has a big smile on her face when she sees you, and she kind of comes over towards you and gives you a hug.
Hug back. Yeah, a hug. Good to see you guys. God, you two have grown.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Lulu then. She was like...
I was like hugging and like, you know.
Yeah, you're talking to the other two.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see Olivia just like... Yeah, yeah. She seemed quite awkward and just kind of like... She was trying to find another way to say you two, but didn't, and just kind of backs off as the others start coming up towards it. You hear kind of footsteps moving up in the hallway. At this stage, Nick, you make your way into the living space, and Scott, you see for the first time Nick, looking a little older, a little more worn.
There's my Ginger Ninja. How are you, Nick?
Oh, I'm
go
good,
and give him
man.
a hug.
Yourself. It's good to see you.
All right, you give him a great big hug, and same thing as soon as you go in, Nick, a more frailer looking Jonah comes up around you and puts one arm around you and says,
Mate, it's good to see you back here.
You too, buddy.
I'll be honest,
My hug.
I thought you were dead. Thought there was a damn good shot that you two had gone and got yourselves blown up, killed, or swallowed, or something horrible.
To be fair, yeah, that's...
We had some close calls.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's only good that we hear about them, right? Can we fix your team up with any food?
Some food would be good.
All right.
Yeah, food would be good.
Well, you're lucky. We're having a bit of a celebration today.
What are you guys celebrating?
Well, it's a new year, mate.
Oh shit, is it?
Yeah. Happy New Year.
What year is it? What year is this? I know it's been a few, but we haven't exactly been
It's
keeping count.
2022.
oh, it sounds good. Yeah, 2022. Yeah, it's 2022.
Yes.
Yeah.
Roundabouts. I mean, we're not exactly sure on the exact day, but we made a decision at some point,
It's
5 years back.
good enough for us. It
Yeah.
works.
2022. The roaring 20s.
Well, not so much roaring, but, we're getting by. You see Lulu kind of take you by the hand.
Come, sit down, have food, eat with us.
And you do, and you kind of settle down, and you start having a little bit of a eat, and you start discussing pleasantries to start before you start getting into the heavier hitting stuff. Meanwhile, Skulk,
Back on the roof.
back on the roof. You're calling through to your contact, someone that you've been speaking with for the past 5 years on and off. How do you open this dialogue?
Mush mushy.
Trying to think. Probably would have honestly used code names and stuff.
Okay,
So I'll call them Pigeon,
all right.
myself Rat.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so
right.
fucking perfect. At least you're self-aware.
Someone would like it.
At least you're self-aware.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I knew someone would enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I just go, calling pigeons, rat. You copy?
Rat, this is Pigeon. I hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Any news on the bogey from that flew over?
You heard about a bogey?
Yes.
Was that bogey near you?
It flew by.
Okay.
And I heard on the radio that someone saw it as well. Is that your guys?
There's been talk. And just kind of goes silent for a time.
Anybody going to be actioning anything on that talk?
Silence. I can't say. How close to you was it? You don't have to tell me exactly.
How much time does the bogey have before they get to it?
It depends if they action it. It hasn't... It's not deemed a threat yet.
What would make it a threat?
If the right people decide it is, I can't say for sure.
All right, I'll be staying near the radio today. If you do hear anything, can you please just radio back?
I will, okay? Stay low, Rat.
Thanks, Vegin. Over and out.
Over now. It goes silent. And you're just sitting there looking at your little setup. Your battery next to it. Keeping it all charged. And you just wait there for a time.
I'll also just keep having a look out on the telescope up on the hill and out east.
Okay. Occasionally you do open the door, prop back outside, just look up towards it, and then spin back around, having a look out the other way, out to sea. In the skies.
And on the water, just in case.
All around. Fantastic.
Even space.
Now, downstairs, the level below, in the little lounge area. You're having a bit of a catch-up. So far, it's been sticking to pleasantries, for the most part. Niceties. But talk starts to shift, starts to turn. And I'll need the three of you to take it from there.
So that's nice and well and good, but I assume it's not all roses and daisies out there.
No.
And you've probably come on a lot of stuff.
Came across a few things. Not as much as we would like out there. It's for the most part, it's a dead world.
What about other people, like other groups, settlers?
We found some. Just go ahead, Nick.
Just so uncommon. There's almost no one.
What do you mean?
But we found a few. That was about it.
We found traces, remains of groups. We ended up in Atop. There's a bit of a flotilla there in the middle of the lake. We saw some people on it, sort of gave us a bit of hope, but when we got there, had a good look, they were all dead.
What about the township? Was anybody alive? Did you see
Just dead. The lake was full of them, surrounded by them. scouting became a bit harder, but we got pretty good at avoiding them. They're all pretty waterlogged or clogged.
How did you make it down to Taupo? You left in one of the boats. You didn't come back in it.
I guess we skipped a part. We left and just in search for other people in general. Thought we would start with the only other location we knew of some alright people, which was Red and Green. No trace of them. Went back to our old place and still blown up. We made our way around into, what was it? Kopu, was it? Was it the town called?
Yeah.
Kopu, like our original plan. Is that where we saw the rats?
Just like lots of me, just like walking around.
We saw something different. It was just rats, thousands of them, but they weren't.
We've had something similar here.
Just hairless.
Down Walkworth ways.
Walkworth.
Not
Yeah.
hairless, just a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's something new. That was the only time we encountered anything like that, right? Yeah. That was relatively soon after. Yeah. We made our way around. We stopped hearing the jamming signal around
The jamming signal, you mean, from Great Barrier?
Great Barrier. We went around the corridor, and shit. You told me, I can't remember where it was though. Where we stopped hearing
It was slightly past the point.
slightly past the point.
Yeah.
You did have a lot of notes originally.
Mm.
Unfortunately, a lot of those were lost.
Yeah, lost in space. We made our way down south, just going from just down the coast. We hit Tauranga and we were attacked. We retaliated. Boat went down.
Attacked by who? Who?
Well, we didn't really talk. There's another group down there. Slavers.
Slavers? What do you mean?
They taking people and sending them out.
Sending them where?
Using the trains.
Using the trains?
Using the trains.
Where are they running to? South, north?
Auckland.
Auckland?
Mount Eden? Yeah. Sandringham. They were sending them all.
Yeah, that's the one.
Everything was going up there. That's where we found Hogan.
Yep.
He was a train driver.
There were people from sort of all over.
And he's the man that
Cool.
fixed that for you? Fixed your plane? Got it running?
Yeah. A man put in a shitty situation, just doing what he needed to do to survive. Otaha and Willie, we found them. They were cornered by by the dead. We helped them out. Their parents had been taken.
You did more than just help us out, you saved our lives. Don't undersell it.
Which one's that?
That was out
We knew about the train and the people, and so we knew relatively when the next one was going to come. We knew there was a good chance that their parents being taken might go out on the next train. That's the only idea we had. So we set it up and we stopped the train and
Oh, you should have seen it though.
train heist.
Like, more than a heist, man. Stop the thing in its tracks.
I
was
just grabbed it. See what we did there?
Eh?
We put a petrol tanker on the tracks. Whether they wanted to risk it, whether they would risk it being full or not, I thought they would err on the side of caution that it wasn't going to be full. So that it was going to be full. We stopped. We took him out. This is Hogan, and we freed. I'm not too sure. 30, 40 people. A lot of people ran that night. We didn't have much of a camp set up, so when we got back there, more people left throughout the night. Didn't feel the need to stop them because I couldn't promise them protection. And I think at this time, all of us were better in smaller groups. Some of them were as far as Invercargill, was it? Dunedin. Napier.
Napier. It was Napier. I was like, Invercargill. I was like, I didn't think it was that far,
You
man.
didn't go that far.
No, it was Napier.
So the furthest any of those people were Napier. So these slavers are going far and wide. As far as we can tell, though, they stick to the coasts to the most part.
But this lot, they saved us. This is Liz speaking up now, the kind of frailer woman. Me and Poe, we're inside one of those, in a container. I don't know where they were taking us, where they were going to move us to. Hogan, he knew a little bit, but he only shared what he knew, and that wasn't much. There are bad people out there. And your friend, both of them, they told us a lot about you. And you sound like good people. You look like good people. You look like you're prepared, like you're a little bit more built for this than...
We try to be, but we're just like everybody else. We're still prone to the occasional,
Yeah, except most people out there are dead. And still walking around in need of... other folk.
As we were flying up here, we saw a few lights through the night. It was Auckland Day. You saw those? Around through Auckland. There's still a few survivors there. North of Auckland. This was from North Shore to Orewa, right?
It was before that. It seemed like from out west.
Yeah.
Like.
I mean, so the next thing I'm going to say is the scorched.
Yes. That's from like Massey.
Yeah.
From like Massey all the way up to.
Massey to Orewa was just burnt.
what do they mean?
I thought of that.
You just hear this voice coming from the roof.
Oh, right, I don't go anywhere near it, no.
No.
No,
It's not you.
That's
Surprise
really
me.
great stealth. He
Yeah.
just snuck back down.
He snuck away and you didn't realise. Yeah. Pretty much.
Scorched as in like...
Just burnt.
Wow. It's a...
So, yeah, like I said, few survivors within Auckland. Furthest as we went was Taupo. It was kind of hard to make runs around there based on the place we hauled up. We had to leave almost all of our extra supplies and equipment down there. We couldn't obviously take too much.
I can't imagine you could carry too much in that thing, yeah?
Just the essentials and a couple of days worth of food and water.
Do you mind me asking, why now? This is Frank speaking up. It's been a long time. A lot of us didn't think that you were still out there. You left a note for us and not much else. I mean, it was your own decision. We're not going to stop you.
I know.
Chloe made the same choice.
I was just going to ask. Can't see it.
Yeah, you don't know.
How long ago was that?
She just, after the first year, she just decided that she couldn't let go about Scott being in the area, and she thought she could find him, as well as I think it was Ash overseas. She wanted to try find her, and we tried to stop her, but you know Chloe, she was set on going, so I didn't stop her.
You didn't see anything else? You didn't hear anything of her anywhere?
No. You guys haven't seen her amongst the dead around here?
No.
No, we've roamed pretty far.
I've seen some sit-ups around.
Ah, you saw them on the way here.
Mm.
That's been helping.
But bit of a bigger setup than I had in mind, but
That's been necessary.
Well, your original idea birthed it, and I just thought we as a group thought it seemed like a good option. So
it's created another issue with it, but one I think we can deal with.
What's that?
My idea was small scale on by design. It's meant to just attract the ones nearby, go into a kill house, and we clear it on a regular basis. This has hoarded them up.
It hasn't worked. This has been keeping them occupied. What we had before didn't work.
we do have other smaller sound traps around the townships on Bluetooth speakers, but
And frankly, you weren't here, so we did what we did.
Not criticising,
We
just
made it work.
just pointing out something that can turn into an issue later on. I would have flown away to make sure nothing came here like those. But as you saw, we didn't have the petrol, the diesel. It was land or crash.
Well, if they were smaller, then yeah, maybe they'd come wandering over, see what's going on. But they're big enough and they're making enough noise that they should hold them there. So we're lucky that they are.
Think anything else? Oh yeah, that's right. Why now? The big question.
Yeah, that's why everyone's kind of like still looking at you, like waiting.
The
Like,
big question that was actually asked.
Scott, roll intuition for me. This is just flat. It's difficult.
What is it?
failed by one.
Oof. Okay.
Oh,
All right. That's okay.
As decisions in the apocalypse, it was survival.
Yep.
Had little choice. There's a few places we know that have medical personnel, only one of which we trust. Aroha here. She's pregnant.
Her this whole time, and she's wearing this big kind of hoodie. Jake's told us about your place and the people that are here, and thought there was a good shot that could still be here, that you'd be able to help. It hasn't been easy. It's been rough, and we're afraid that it was going to go bad. So, Jake and Nick, they told us about here. And that's the first we really heard of it. Before then, we didn't really know too much of where they came from. They're not just walking around blabbering about you guys, He's kept it safe. They've kept us safe. I just want what's going to be best going forward. And, look, I know that people are a burden, and this is... It can be a burden. But you guys got kids here.
Yes, we do. We're in a sense, we're trying to make this place as community driven as possible. We, within reason, accept and would like to grow and flourish more than what we have currently. I think the main thing that's kind of kind of just dangling, like in my gut somewhere is you've talked about these people you've encountered, and why now? Why? We're happy to have you back, but why haven't we heard from you since then, and why now? Is there problems? Are you bringing anything this way?
A baby?
He's just bringing me.
Just
That's
that.
Yeah, true.
We were safe and sound. Travelling this far is obviously dangerous. Couldn't risk anything like that for just to say hello. We only started to risk going out as far as we could and getting what we needed to get here once we found out Idaho was pregnant.
The fact that no one else is out there, we looked, made sense to come back and sort of group up again.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I sound like hesitant or heartless or anything like
No,
that.
it's totally understandable.
I'm just thinking about what we have here, and I don't want anything to jeopardize what we have. But at least
We'd be the same.
At least from what I've gauged so far, I mean, I'd be happy to have you here. I mean, it's not just my decision.
You see Aroha like moving closer towards Jake and just kind of like put her arm around your arm, just a little closer.
Don't look at me like that.
I was wondering how deep you guys were going to roleplay this.
What?
Oh yeah, Nick can't see us right now.
He's actually
Nick,
sitting on my lap.
I'm on his lap right now. My arms are wrapped around him tightly.
Yeah.
I'm embracing him, fondling his beard. Oh, yeah, for the audio podcast as well. That's exactly what I'm doing right now.
So what do the rest of you guys think?
Look,
We
man,
don't have to be here for this conversation if you don't want us to be. If you want to talk about it in private.
Okay, so when you see you guys, are you talking to the rest of Jake's people or your people?
My people. Like
Okay.
Lulu, Frank.
yeah. It's I mean, it's more people, but we're doing okay right now. Supplies are good. More people, that's going to make, things strain in some areas, but more people can be a good thing as well. I can think of a few areas where we'd need more help, and sure, there'll be a dip in food for a while, but we can make up for that. We've got runs that can still work, areas that we haven't been to yet.
I mean, I know we're all getting sick of fish, but hey, we can always...
I'm not sick of fish. I can keep eating it, believe me. It's still good.
It's become staple food for us, but yeah. I mean, there's plenty of fish in the sea.
It goes silent. Definitely silent.
The Jen just hangs her head.
And with that, we go back to the rooftop. Skulk, while you're up there, on top of the roof, waiting by your radio, you take a moment to break and go back outside to look back towards a hill like where you'd seen people before.
Yeah, and I'm checking the fence as well, like the fence line.
Okay. I need you to roll perception for me. This time it's going to be a +20.
Yep, succeed 1. And you also said that would have been a critical success.
1. Yes, it would have. It would have.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Shoulda, coulda,
Can
woulda.
we change back to the old system just for that roll?
Yeah.
Well, if your skill is 1, it would also be a critical success. But I hope that your perception isn't 1.
He's got lots of penalties, actually.
Yeah. Okay, so you're scanning around, looking back up towards the hill. Nothing there. You're scanning down through the grass. And then you catch it again. The silhouettes that you saw before. with the sun slightly higher, and with the shadows not hiding as much around the bushes, you can see people moving towards this complex.
How many?
It's difficult to make out in total. You catch one person moving, another. There might be another, but you can't quite see. You can't really make out from what they're wearing. They're pretty well, kind of disguised to the area that's around them.
Do they look alive or zombies?
Well, they're not shuffling along. They seem to be trying to stay hidden.
And they're definitely coming towards.
They seem to be moving towards the fence line.
Okay. I put the telescope down, I radio through, and I say, everyone, we've got two, maybe three people definitely alive coming towards from the hill.
Stand out straight away.
You see, like, everyone in there kind of go alert. The radios are going off. The people that are with you, your group, they look a little, like, alarmed, but you can immediately see that they look alarmed as well. So there's no intuition check for that. You can see that they are surprised by this news.
You guys had issues before?
No, this is new. Okay, we need to get ready. This can wait till later. You guys ready with us?
We gear up.
Okay.
Get my mech suit.
Both
The airplane
Jake
transforms.
and Nick start to gear up, taking down some of the packs that they have on, taking out the equipment, getting ready. Jen does the same thing with you. Frank's at the ready. Jonah, you can see going for his rifle, but Lulu's like,
Stay here.
Lulu, Jonah, can you look after our new guests?
Yeah, we've got it. With us.
and he kind of guides them into one of the side rooms here, kind of the hospital space that is kind of also serves as like a little bit of a panic room for you all.
BA mask, helmet, pump the bicycle pump.
You see Jake doing something weird for bicycle pump in his body. You're not quite sure what he's doing. He's got like a full-on apparatus over his
Got that
head.
hooked up to the radio.
Yeah.
Okay. Radio test. Check.
No.
Yeah.
Nick and I will be doing all the same equipment.
Yeah, I'm just doing the same thing.
Strange as ever.
Yeah, and you've already got your gear on. You're set. You pull up your chainmail over the top of your head. Jen, same thing. Frank, same thing. They get ready. You start moving. Where are you moving to?
I'm staying on a roof with the telescope.
Okay. All right.
I would radio through to Hogan going, looks like we've got some company here.
All right. The radio goes through to Hogan. He's like, good company or bad company? What kind of company are we talking about? Do you want me to... Sorry. Do you want me to heat her back up?
Just imagining Hulk Hogan with an Irish accent.
Could we take off again if needed?
Fuck no! But I can warm her up.
Hey, do you want to come to land?
I'm alright here. If you've got company, I'll stay here if that's alright with you.
Not the voice of fiction.
No, not at all.
I don't think that's the one you use. I'm thinking, okay.
I wasn't using one.
He's been recasted.
He has. He's been swapped out halfway through.
Alright, you stay there. We'll keep in touch. What's your plan, Scotty?
Okay, I say we head over to where the septic tanks are.
The tanks at the back, the septic tanks that are hanging out here. Okay. With that call, you all start making your way into the stairwell and filing outside. Skulk, you are on top of the building. You're tracking these people as they are moving towards here. You don't know if they've noticed yet, if they have been spotted. It's at this stage I would like to welcome two new people to the table. Outsiders. Fresh blood. Take a seat. Take a seat.
Don't worry, guys, it'll be a short game for you.
Welcome.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Take it out.
We have Vedant and Dan, who are joining us for Season 3 of Zealand. We'll see if you're joining us for the long run.
Just a second episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
About 15 minutes.
we'll see exactly how this goes down. So, the three of you, the two of you and your extra that's following you, start to make your way towards this complex.
The extra of the mohawk.
You've made it over the large outer wall, and down from the hill, moving towards this place. You can see atop it a shack of some kind that's been built. This place has obviously had a lot of modification done to it over time. You've had a bit of a hard time trying to move stealthily as you can. You've mostly been staying down on your hands and knees, kind of working your way across. So have you, Dan. You start to move towards this place. I need you both to roll perception for me.
Oh, would I be
Scott,
able to...
you're trying to remain slightly hidden on the roof when you're trying to spy down, or?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, roll stealth for me. You are going to get a plus 20 to your roll.
Nah.
Oh wow, that is nearly a critical fail.
99, so no.
99.
I'm just standing up there going,
You're wearing like high vis or something.
Okay,
bright orange t-shirt.
11.
8 and 11, fantastic.
Just-
Okay, so the
Just
two
a
of you
man crawling in a field.
looking up towards this shack, you don't catch a glint, but you see after there's a little bit of movement, almost like what looks to be from the distance, a very like this. Like the silhouette seems very Neanderthalish in terms of the hair and the beard that's here.
Facial features.
No, you can't see facial features. But there is a man you can see on top of this building, and he seems to be holding something out, and he seems to be looking in your direction. You catch these eyes looking up towards you from the long grass, looking up, and there is a moment where there is eye contact between two different groups.
Put the thing down, pick it ready. Guys, they've seen me.
You hear it as you're making your way down the stairwell, making your way outside.
Which way are they headed towards in the encampment?
West side?
Off to the west.
So where are we headed?
West side, yeah, which is where you're headed, yeah.
I think they've seen us.
The three of you, okay. What's the plan then? What are we going to do? Are we staying low or are we shouting? I'm not sure what's going to get us killed.
I don't like the look of this place. Reminds me a lot of...
Familiar.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know about you, but I'm fucking hungry. If they've
Yeah.
got food in there, and there's a chance that we can... Look, maybe we can trade anything.
We want to risk it.
We found nothing else out here. That town was clean picked over.
We need something.
Could have been these guys that picked a claim.
It seems likely.
It would take a lot of materials to build those walls. They must have got them from
Solid
somewhere.
walls?
Sorry?
Solid walls or?
Solid, yes. Yeah. The outer wall wasn't as intense as this inner wall is. There seems to be a lot more to this inner wall.
Yeah. So we can't see any of the stuff that's
It's
inside.
a fair bit of a climb to get over the top of it. You haven't seen a gate or a kind of gap or anything, but you've just been moving up towards the wall at this point, and you've kind of had this moment of contact where you're seeing someone up the top who has seen you, you've seen them.
How much of the other side of the wall would we have been able to see coming down the hill?
A little bit. You would have been able to see this building that's here. You would have been able to see a little bit of the side of this one. You could see that the windows have been fixed with bars over them. But really beyond that, you couldn't see too much down into it. You caught what looked like a glimpse of perhaps a garden inside the walls. And obviously you came down on the other side of this, that's not cornfield, wheat field.
Are we by the wheat field and all? Whereabouts?
You guys are pretty much in around this point here. You have been able to see that there is a path that seems to run down along that side here, but you've kind of been sticking to the thicker kind of grass, the thicker bush that's around here.
Can we do something?
You can. We are going to get back towards you in just a moment.
Do we even need to go in? I mean, there's a farm right over there.
I don't know about you, but I don't think I can just eat wheat by itself.
No.
I'm hungry,
Just-
but I do... That can't be good.
Try. A few of us go up. You could watch from back here.
While that deliberation is happening, the rest of you are moving at pace. You're moving up towards the septic tanks, yeah? Yeah. Okay. So this is Scott, Frank, Jen, Jake, and Nick. With Skulk atop. You start moving towards the septic tanks. What's your intention?
Nick and I
You see them moving out.
would be like moving pretty like centrally, and I'd be like, I'd sign to him that basically we'll go up to the wall. So the wall's tall enough to look over.
No, this
So
is
I mean,
about
two people.
two head height.
Yeah. So so I'm signing to Nick like, okay, I'm gonna get you up on my shoulders, and he's gonna
Yep.
look over, and I'm actually gonna hold him up. That's not no voice. We're just signed that.
So yeah, you see
Yep.
you see Jake like click. He gets Nick's attention, and he quickly does gesturing with his hand, and you see Nick. Assuming you nod.
Yep. Give him a
Okay.
thumbs up.
And Jake starts moving quickly, sneakily towards the wall, trying to boost Nick up and over it.
So it'd be like real.
Well, up to be able to see
Yeah.
above it.
So I'll be like back against the wall, hand down on my knee. He'll sort of get up and start climbing up, and I'll push him, turn, and then sort of both facing the same way. His legs are on my shoulders, and
Yep.
his.
Okay. As they're doing that, Scott, what is you and your team's intention?
Well, what I want to do is I want to kind of group up, since I know there's only real one entrance around the side.
Yeah, which is this one
Yeah,
here?
which I want to get
Which is the
towards
south
this.
side entrance.
Yeah, I want to get towards the septic tanks on the south side of them, around
Okay.
that corner.
Yep.
I'm gonna group up there, and I want to call into Skulk to ask for his eyes up
Okay.
for locating them.
All right. You don't hear that
Right, of
plane.
course I would have done it.
Don't hear that plane.
That came across when we landed.
Yeah. That would be great.
That is the sound.
We'll use this. We'll sample this audio for later. Okay. So, I'm going to shout so I can be heard over the top of the plane. You make your way around. So Nick and Jake, you kind of go past this point here where the garden is. You start trying to peer over that side. You're going over here with your
Yes,
team?
yes.
Okay, so kind of tucking yourselves in there. Nick and Jake, you're just over at this point here. Skulk, you see them moving. You hear the call for your eyes. You can see them. They're still down over essentially.
You guys still moving, or are you
approximately
just
at
like
this
sort of
point here.
standing still,
They've
deliberating?
Once they were seen by you, they've kind of stopped, and you've been talking it out. What's going to happen? So at this point, as they start peering, as you're lifting Nick up, what are you guys doing at this point?
Start moving towards that dirt road.
Okay.
I tell them off to change direction.
Dan starts taking off in that direction. Max starts following. You follow as well. Okay, you're taking up the rear. At this point, you're walking a little bit more openly.
Well, I assume that we've been seen. So at this point, I'm not standing all the way up and thing, but just not trying to mask my movement as much.
Okay. All right, so yeah, you get up, you start moving, you're moving towards. At this point, Nick gets propped up and over. Nick, you see 3 people moving through the bush line. You see, actually, okay, all right. Do you want to describe yourselves, how you're looking? We'll start with you, Dan.
Alright, sort of just a rough collection of clothes. Don't even look like they fit right. They've got just shoulder length hair at this point, just long unkempt beard. No, it's just full luscious Matt Mercer kind of hair, but just really shitty dirty.
Yeah.
Clearly there's just black all over, covered in filth and stuff, and big backpack each. It's probably most of what you can see from me at that point.
Nick, as you're propped over the wall, you'll notice Dan that you're looking at the moment. You'll notice that one of his arms is hanging a little limp by his side. It's kind of just getting knocked along with him, and he's got a little bit of a limp as he's walking along. And as your view moves on to the next person, you're kind of seeing this at the same time, effectively. Verdant.
Yeah, you see about 5'11"-ish, bushman hair, but tried to push it back and tied with a piece of rope or string. Beard gone crazy. Again, tried as best as I can to sort of collect it and put it into this sort of Rycon ponytail. Clothes-wise, just the most striking thing is what looks to be black priest's robes with sort of golden trim, but they're really tattered. I am in one hand, what I'm using as almost as a walking stick seems to be a hunting rifle, And the reason it's a walking stick is because my right leg below the knee is missing.
Right.
You got a friend.
At least it's below the knee.
It wasn't me. I didn't take his leg.
Yeah, no, that didn't happen. That happened. And behind these two trampish-looking dudes, you can see another figure who's in kind of camo and has kind of greenish blonde hair that's slightly kind of slicked to one side, and you can see that there's slightly shaven along one part of it. This person seems to be a little bit more active than the front two, who have a little bit more of like a limp going on. They seem to be taking the head of this at this point and trying to get a little bit faster towards this path. Again, like carrying like a few things on their back in a backpack.
Right. So,
Okay.
Because Nick and I have the mast on, which connects to the radios.
Yes.
With
That's the same frequency we are all using, right?
Yeah. So as he would be describing that, everyone would be able to hear that. So everyone would have those descriptions that has a radio.
Okay. It's heard across all of them. It's heard inside the MDC. The word is spread. You continue moving. You're almost at the path at this point. Skulk, you're still just keeping an eye, tracking along.
Yeah.
Okay. You keep tracking, and this group makes their way to the pathway.
Do you want to watch from here, or
If this is another Eden situation, I'd much rather go in without losing any more limbs. I'm pretty sure they've seen us.
Roll perception again for me, the two of you. This is going to be plus 20 to your skill.
Yes.
Yes.
You see a head that's poking above the wall. Flash of ginger hair.
It would have
Helmet on.
Oh,
the
hell,
fireman's helmet, which would be got camoed all
yeah,
camoed
but
up.
still, even with this camo helmet on, there is a flash of ginger hair. It just comes through.
I'm pretty sure we've been seen.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Might as well stick together then, at least.
Yeah.
Well, look at Scott.
What are we going to do? Hands up or?
Well, hands in my case, but yeah.
You know what I mean. I'm sorry.
I raise one hand and start to.
Fine.
I wave with my stump.
You relay that to us, Nick?
You see like
yeah,
a stumpy looking, like it's almost like it's like a weird penguin wave. You don't know if someone's. You actually think for a second that maybe they're making fun of you, like because like you know.
I open fire.
Okay.
So Scott would hear that description and the fact that they're got their hands up.
You would hear that. What are we gonna do? What's the plan? I'm ready. And Jen takes out an arrow.
So we let them approach, but we need to be ready to defend ourselves.
You see Frankie kind of like pulls you close. He kind of gets you by this and pulls you close and goes,
Are you sure that this isn't some kind of weird fucked up ploy?
I'm saying we bring them to the gates, don't necessarily let them in. We talk to them.
You can see like Frank's keeping his eye on where the two of you are, which is a little bit further away from where they are. He's speaking under hush
Old radio,
tones at this
which
point.
again, everyone would hear, because it's no buttons needed for this. So it'll be like, Scott, we've got the eyes on these three. Do you want to keep an eye on the around, see if there's anything else going on?
You start having a look around.
Yeah. All
Okay.
around.
You just
You just see people popping over the fence. There, lasers all on you.
looking around.
It was a distraction.
Nick, are you able to direct them towards the south entrance?
I do that. I don't reply, I just do it because I probably wouldn't be able to reply.
You see someone like putting their hands up for a second and they seem a little unsure and they're like,
To your left.
and he points down that way, which effectively is where this path is leading to what looks to be a back gate of some kind.
Cool.
And you start to approach, the three of you, like hands still up. You have one hand up, you have your other one, moving your way along.
I should ask a question as well. Is this gate similar to the other ones, see-through or solid?
Oh no, it's solid. The other one isn't see-through. It's
Okay.
solid as well, so they're both solid. But this one is also one that does roll back on the inside.
Okay. So I don't want to open it yet. I want to wait. I want to try approach that gate, and I want to wait till they're on the other side.
Okay. You approach the gate. The others follow. Jen has her arrow down and ready. You can see Frank has a spear in his hands.
I'll tap Nick and be like, come down, sort of thing.
Yeah, you guys get down. You follow them up towards the gate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I'll pull out a sort of a makeshift knife, which is going to be the you'll see it's just a wrench. It's just been sort of carved at a point there, and it's still got the circle part on it. So I'll just have 2 of those at the Z ready.
Okay. You can hear people. You hear the shuffle on the gravel of other people on the other side of this gate.
Hello.
Hiya.
What brings you to our neighborhood?
Food. Do you have any food?
Sustenance, really.
Where did you come from?
Far away. Is that your plane?
No.
Whose plane is it?
Could we see the plane from...
This is what brought you here.
Yeah, I mean, from
Oh, can
as
you
we
see
came
it?
in,
No,
could we see
no.
it?
No, you haven't been able to see.
Some recent guests. We seem to be popular today.
They got an open vacancy then.
I hope so.
You are the only people in anywhere near this area, as far as we can tell.
Nearby town's been picked clean. We're out of rations.
We're hoping it's you that cleaned them out.
We're aware of it being cleared.
Is that like a question?
Do you have anything concealed?
That means no.
Wait.
I've got a.
Could you give an example?
Are you hiding any weapons that aren't openly visible?
I've got a hatchet.
I've got a knife. I don't have it in my hand right now, if that's what you mean. I'm trying real hard not to get hurt.
I have a pistol behind me.
Okay. We're gonna let you in. But keep your hands up and make no sudden movements. This will be a lot easier if we can see each other.
Understood.
I kind of go over and we just open it and
The gate rolls open. You see a whole lot of people decked out in chainmail with metal plates in front of it with like interspersed pieces of like body armor that's on there, on their elbows, on their legs, on their knees, big boots. You see a guy standing in front of you with looks like a huge freaking axe type thing. Another guy standing there with a spear. All of it looking kind of like they've been kind of custom made. There's a girl standing there with a bow in her hand, an arrow kind of down, not pointed in your direction, but kind of at the ready. There's there are 2 people standing there in kind of camouflaged firefighter gear with like a weird breathing apparatus on their face, standing there with like 2 what look like throwing knives in their hands.
And I guess Nick's got his bow.
Yeah, Nick's bow, bow down and
You don't
ready.
see that every day.
No, definitely not.
They can't put their arms up. It's not a fucked thing. I
one.
swear.
Put one up.
We're not being silly.
we're aware. Come inside.
One second. Does Eden mean anything to you before we step inside here?
That's a really good question.
I'll be watching any faces I can see for...
No. You didn't mention Eden, eh? Or anything? Haven't heard of it? Just Mount Eden?
Yeah, Mount Eden, but not him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did, didn't we?
Mount Eden? Or...
Do I see any yellow?
No yellow?
No, you don't. No.
No, we've... Yeah, we've been pretty okay here. We haven't travelled too far out of this region.
You
What about the
trade?
plane? How far has that come from?
You know, I don't know specific details, but we'll sit down and talk. We have some leftovers that we've already prepared for food,
You've got food.
and we can talk. There's a lot going on today, and shit's happening fast.
Is the door closed? So did they come in?
No, that's what I'm trying to get.
It's kind of. They haven't crossed the threshold yet.
Yeah, we need to close the gates. So if you're coming in, come in. Otherwise,
We get to
Okay.
hold on to our weapons, alright? I'm sorry, we've been in situations before and I'm not
sure, but we're doing the same.
That's fine.
sure.
Can we put our arms down?
Yes.
Thank you. You see that she's it's a rough looking girl.
I walk in.
Okay, and as they enter, close up the gates. Scott.
V.
Dan.
You can shake hands.
But they don't have to lean
If you can shake. It's so awkward.
Max.
Got about the extra character. Yeah.
Just call it Aiden.
About 4 tires tall.
Yeah.
Looks like you've just had it as hard as most. She kind of like says, motioning down to your leg, or the lack thereof.
Yeah. The beginning was a bit rough.
Not just the beginning. What come after?
The afterwards.
He's also missing a leg.
He's also missing a leg. Yeah.
It's also at the knee, isn't it?
There's one's above the knee.
You can see that he has a kind of prosthetic leg that seems to have been reinforced and seems a little more butty than a regular prosthetic. Not quite. It's an assault rifle. No, it's not.
It's like a bow and arrow.
It's a secret scope.
Yeah, it's a crossbow leg. Of course it is.
Okay. We'll go somewhere a bit under shade. We'll bring stuff out to you.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, thanks.
Where would be the best place under shade around here?
Under
those trees?
shade. Sorry, what was that?
Probably those trees inside.
These ones here, or these ones?
Probably the ones closest to the gate.
These ones here. Yeah. Yep. Just behind the big tanks, just over in this region here. Nice little picnic spot. So,
Nice
yeah.
view of the garden.
Yeah, you settle here, and yeah, you're looking across. You're seeing a garden. Looking at this place, this building here looks like it's heavily fortified. The walls seem strong. Atop this building, you're seeing a structure of a kind that's being built up. Seems slightly reminiscent of the other large structures that you've seen. as you were on your way here, the spinning windmill type things with light and sound being generated by them.
Jen, would you mind? I mean, I don't want
Yeah.
to put you up, but would you mind going in and just grabbing some food?
Bring
bringing
that
it
down?
up?
Yeah, that's no problem. That's all right. I might bring Dad down as well, just more bodies.
Cool.
Okay. And she heads back off inside. And you're all kind of left standing there together awkwardly underneath these trees. For the three of you, it feels good to be inside walls, but still unsettling. You don't know whether or not you can fully trust these people. You don't know if it's just another too good to be true story.
I want to keep an eye out just for anyone that's not completely armed to the teeth, checking at palms. Just keeping an eye on.
Okay.
Like, firmly posed around my Rycon.
Okay. Do any of you have your hands open?
Well, when after I asked Jen to go get the food,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just look over to these guys and then just put the my weapon back on.
Your big axe thing,
Yeah.
just click it back on the side.
And then I just say, so let's talk of how you got here.
Just before that, while doing that, all I want to do is just say we've already got it set up, just a series of clicks that Hogan would know to change channels, change that channel and be like, it's all clear here. They seem to be alright with talking to them now.
Thanks for letting me know I shit myself.
Yeah, I figured I should have updated them.
I appreciate it.
So then I would take off the helmet, clip that on, take off the mask, purge it, so it should be like,
All right.
put that back in the bag and click it on.
Question. Do you still have your hood up? You do? Okay. You've just taken everything off, yeah?
Yeah, put the helmet back on.
Okay.
You need to take the helmet off for the mask. It's like Darth Vader.
Yeah. So as you see him do this, you're still by the others at this point,
Yeah.
yeah? When you're taking it off. As he does, you notice that he has a tattoo, just it's like a strange tattoo for a guy to have on his face. Just a little crescent moon on
And
the
5
side
stripes.
here. And sorry,
5 stripes.
5 stripes. Crescent moon, 5 stripes.
6, wasn't it?
Sorry, yeah.
Five of us plus.
Yeah, so it'd be the a tally mark plus 1.
Oh, yeah.
6
So
stripes.
it's tally marks or...
Yeah, so it's 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4 across and in one.
As soon as I notice that, I would sort of down the shoulder with a series of taps and point it out to him like that, basically saying that looks very similar to ours.
Okay. Roll intuition. The two of you roll intuition for me.
As I'm putting my things away-
it's just flat.
I would get my pocket sand ready.
Okay, pocket sand. Pocket sand at the ready.
Pocket sand!
Pocket sand. Nick, I need you to roll intuition for me as well, bud.
Okay.
Fail.
Fail.
It's all on
Fail.
Okay. No, you just see Vedant put his hand just on Dan's shoulder.
No. So
When he brings his hand back though, roll perception for me. Again, this is challenging, so it's just
Reception, you say.
perception.
Nick,
Who's rolling perception?
Oh, Nick is rolling perception
Nick,
as
do you
well.
roll dice? Do we need to?
We need to.
Oh, okay.
2 success.
Nice.
Ooh, 2 success. Okay.
78 success.
He sees into your soul.
Nick, as you're standing there and this things are de-escalating a little bit, as Vedant brings his hand off Dan's shoulder, your eyes catch something in the palm of his hand for a moment, as he's kind of bringing his hand back down. You thought you saw something. It could have just been a flash of something, but because you are so incredibly perceptive in that moment, Nick, You're able to see that it's a scar of sorts. It looks to be a marking, almost a brand. You can't see entirely what it is, but you see two lines joined together and another dropping beneath it. You can't quite make out what it is. It's just an instance that you see it. And then Vedant's hands back down.
We have secret contacts. We can talk to me, Nick.
Okay.
Just openly
I'd
sign language in
click
front of
sign
us?
to Jake.
So yeah, you
They have a brand, is all I'd say.
You
in
all
sign
see
language.
Nick click to get Jake's attention and then starts signing something. And Jake responds in turn.
Sorry, we've been... It was us for so long. You're right, Nick. I'll radio through and like, Adaha, we're all good down here.
You click back. Good. You guys coming back up?
We're just talking to these people here and we'll...
Where are they from?
That's what we're about to talk to.
Sweet. Okay.
Didn't need a roll to see for that.
So, ask again. How'd you guys get here?
Followed the plan.
Where from?
Came south through the empty towns, followed big windmills and trails that seem to be cut through cars.
Those big shiny things. Is that yours?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a collaborative effort.
Yeah, you hear Frank just like kind of cough out. Thank you.
How far have you guys come from?
Auckland.
How long's it been since you've been in Auckland? Central Auckland, I should say.
A while.
Yeah. Watches stopped working a long time ago.
How far have you guys travelled? Has it just been Auckland to here or
Yeah.
anywhere else?
No, Auckland to here.
Yeah.
Any encounters with any individuals or groups?
It's Eden.
And just to give you an idea of what was kind of happening there, Max was just kind of, she just brought her hand up to her face and she was just kind of like making this shown to just the two of you.
Does
Yeah.
Nick seen it?
Nick and his elf eyes.
And you see her just kind of like put her hands up like that for a second and just kind of like just like she's playing with her hair, just like flashing it up like that. Does anyone react to seeing two marks? And you do see two marks clearly on her hands.
On just one hand or one each
A
hand?
Y symbol on each hand. A brand.
What are those?
What are those, and can we just keep the hand gestures and stuff to a minimum?
Do you really not know? You don't recognize that at all?
Well, it's a mark similar to...
Is it a tattoo or is it?
No, it's a brand.
Right,
It's
so
a
it's like
scar.
a
It's a
burn
scar
on-
on your
okay.
hand.
No, okay, so like a not a burn, like a cut.
No,
We
like
saw
a
the-
burn. It's
Yeah,
a
okay.
scar
We
Like
saw
a
the crescent moon on
on
on me,
Jake.
yeah.
On Jake.
So
Yeah.
It's nothing we've seen before. I've seen the
We've seen
tattoo,
something similar.
That-
We've seen something similar.
seen tattooing, but
whoever did that was a whole lot more gentle.
Is that yours, or did someone give you that?
It was given to us.
was that Eden place you've been talking about?
Yeah.
Look, there's a reason we're being coy. We're not doing it to be fucky.
Mean no offense, but
The best luck with people.
this whole thing hasn't really led to trust. Wouldn't be here if we weren't
Desperate.
hungry as hell.
Is food back yet?
Funny you should say that. Jen and Charles are coming along with a tray that seems to be full of a mixture of different foods. Fresh vegetables, there's meat, there is what looks to be, you think it might be rabbit, maybe, as it comes over. Could be, who knows.
It smells good.
It smells good, it's a little cold, but like,
It so smells delicious.
and it's just placed down like in the ground in front of everyone, and then
Help yourselves.
thank you. And like just
Just a handful.
goes in there and just Max starts eating away.
Manners be damned.
Yeah,
I'm
just stuff in my
digging
face.
Yeah, you see these three very dirty, very worn out people. These two, though, they seem more worn than this chick that's with them. Like their hair is like very well overgrown. Their beards, their facial hair is very well overgrown. You can see like in parts it's been slightly cut a little bit, but it's rough.
So, I can make guesses as to. Oh, it's been such a long time. I don't know if I could really actually make a guess now that I think about it. But you've been through a lot. I can see that.
Understatement.
Yes. Pivot.
To extend on my friend's question here. What have you had to do to survive?
Nothing's.
I think it's pretty like clear that on most of their faces. Like when you say that, you kind of see almost like a vacant look for a moment or two. Like some internalizing is going on.
Look,
Not as much as some of the people we've met. But what we had to.
I'm sorry to basically open old wounds, but for the same reason you're hesitant on us. It's the same the other way.
that's fair, I guess.
No ambushing or attacking on innocent people, if that's what you're wanting to make sure of.
Have you seen many innocent people?
Yeah.
Yes.
Eden?
What about on the streets?
No, not live
Just
ones.
the dead.
There aren't many people out there by themselves anymore.
No.
If there are people alive, they make a mistake. And that's usually together, in one form or another.
It's the only way to do it these days.
It's just some folks do it differently.
So this Eden, you were there or you heard of it?
Oh, we were there, alright.
Yeah. Were there?
And this is Mount Eden?
Eden Park.
Eden Park.
Stadium. It's where we all got our club stamps.
Any names stick out to you there?
Just it's one.
Ethan.
Name mean anything to any of you?
No.
Have you guys heard the name Eddie?
Or Leroy? Ismail?
No.
Anyone else with any of these? Anything similar? Not the same
And
tattoos?
as he does that, I bring mine down and I have the same exact tattoo on my head.
Nick, do you want to join the club?
Yep, I'll take my helmet off and show helmet and mask come off.
Yeah.
No, that's the first time we've seen that.
You see a flash of ginger hair. No, sorry.
Seems like we've both been branded.
Yeah.
You could say that.
Were you guys there from the beginning? Halfway through?
No.
You were.
It was not by choice.
Yeah.
Timeline. Was it after a few weeks? A few months?
Yes.
Yeah, about a year.
Or
Year and a half.
lost track of time, but I guess somewhere over a year.
Anyone with a loud Cockney accent?
No.
Maybe among the other people like us, but there was plenty of people that we never interacted with.
1,000.
Thousands.
Hundreds?
Thousands.
Thousands.
Oh, close
What-
to. I'd say.
What were
Yeah.
they doing? Did they put you to work or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone had a place. Everyone had a job.
Whether you wanted it or not.
It's a place ruled by fear. They make a whole show of this is life, this is the best you're gonna get.
They would bring people in from claiming to be sanctuary, just trick them inside. That
It was very much a prison.
there's many of us brought in train
Where from?
already. I don't know where. Big ships.
North, south?
We were kept in the dark most of the time. Just locked in containers and shipped into work.
They didn't like authority in there. Or old authority, as Ethan called it. There were policemen with me, who were transporting people to a safer place from the city. He slaughtered them. Just second thought.
Anything to make sure that he had all the power.
Stupid thing is, kid, spoiled brat. It's
A kid.
17 roundabout.
You'd guess he's, probably 16, 17.
17 when we met him.
There's Ethan.
Ethan. He's running the show.
Somehow he's got people scared enough to follow him. And as long as he can keep that fear by anything necessary.
Thing is, we don't know if it's just him. If he's the only one.
It was
There
the
was-
Golden King that he called it?
Yellow King.
Yellow King. Don't even know if he exists.
They certainly make it seem that way.
Could have been part of the fear. But
There's a lot of good people there.
were
People that shouldn't be.
So what happened there to change that? How did you escape?
I got out originally because of these two. They created enough of a distraction. It gave me a chance. And the rest of us took it. Some of us made it out. And then we came back for them. Then we wanted to get as far away as we could. We had heard about a place, a just an endless bloody waste. As far as the eye could see.
Black ash.
But it was
It's
true.
endless.
You guys made it through there?
We walked through that shit. The reason we did was because we hoped it wouldn't go forever. And that it would give enough separation, enough of a... so that someone wouldn't find us, wouldn't follow us. We hoped there was something beyond.
Dying in there was preferable to going backwards.
Was there anything else in there? Any dead surviving through that?
Dogs. Well, were dogs.
It's
It's not even undead, they were just
Yeah, let's.
By the
black
rats.
veins,
Seen rats like that.
pale.
they were working together. They seemed smart.
Communicating?
I don't know, I don't speak dog.
They seemed like they were communicating.
Maybe. I can't be sure. But if someone asked me to go back through there again, if I had to go back through there to get here, I wouldn't. Even though this place seems good. Everywhere else we've been before here has been empty. It's green, but there's no life.
It's like that all over. There's not much left out there.
No.
From the little we've seen here, it doesn't seem to be like that. I mean, as we got closer, we were hearing birds. We were seeing birds. For the longest way, we had seen nothing.
There's nothing but those dogs in the wastes. Nothing in Auckland. It's just... everything's gone.
What are you guys' plans?
To get here, or wherever it was past that scorched pit.
The plan was just to,
Go as far as we could, get as
Get
far
away.
away. Put separation between us, so that we didn't have to go back.
if the towns weren't empty, we probably wouldn't have even come this far. Needed something.
Do you have anywhere we can sleep? I know it's early, but we've been going for days and not sleeping
Could
much
sleep
at
for
all.
days.
Is there any way we can rest our heads, even here?
I'll sleep against a tree if I have to.
Do you mind waiting here for a while?
As long as you don't mind if I put my head down.
It's fine.
Alright. You see she takes her pack and she
Yeah.
walks over towards one of the trees and kind of waits there for a moment and just to see what you two are doing.
Yeah.
Follow her, I sit down,
I'll
get off my leg.
drop
You-
my pack and
Yeah, you plop yourselves down and it feels good to be off your feet and in the shade, out the sun.
just lay my head back and just close my eyes and enjoy being.
I'm still keeping an eye out for yellow conscious.
What are you doing? What are the rest of you doing here? You're still keeping your lookout?
Waiting on Scott?
And keep, sticking close to the radio.
When you go talk with the others. Frank, are you fine here?
I'll keep a watch. Make sure everything's good.
While we do that, should we get Willow to have a look at them? Look them over.
Really good idea.
We have one issue. We just want to make sure none of you are good. We have a... She was a nurse, right? We have a nurse here. Just give you guys a look over. Check your stats. Not those stats. Not those stats. But
My HP is...
If you guys are fine with that.
That sounds
Seems
fair.
fair.
Save excess travel. We might as well just take them there. From here.
Yeah, it'll keep them outside the walls as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Come on, help you up.
Guy who looks kind of similar to Scott comes along and then picks you up, helps you get back to your feet, Max as well. And the three of you are kind of brought through this place around to the front side where there is a home outside of these main gates, and you walk further past, you see a little bit more of the place as well, the washing area out the side. You walk past this large building that seems to have just like shelves upon shelves upon shelves in there that is just full of every piece of equipment, tool that you could imagine under the sun. Like, what's that?
We saw the buggy on the way, right?
Yes, yeah. You imagine that the people that had pretty much stripped the other places clean, that's where it's all is. It's all inside this building. And so you're brought through, the gate is opened, and you're taken across to this home here. There, Frank, guy in chainmail, knocks on the door, and a woman opens it. She's got quite long, red, curly hair. Hi.
We've got some new people. We need you to have a look at them. I want to make sure that they're not bitten at all. That they're kosher.
Okay. Can you,
I'm gonna stay.
okay. Come inside, just into the lounge.
Keep going.
Okay. Brings you round. If you just wait here, I'll take one of you at a time. Frank, if you just...
Yep.
And so you're brought through, one by one, and you're checked over by this nurse, who checks everything, and she kind of winces at your...
Face.
Yeah. Probably my face.
your leg, and she's saying, I can do something to help with that.
Much appreciated.
Okay,
It's like a
I'll
yeah.
get to that. Okay. You're okay, though. The rest of you is fine. Do you want to get your friend?
Sure.
Okay. And so you hop back out. Dan, you're brought in. And she starts inspecting you, and the prosthetic isn't bad. The one, your foot, it's good. Wound's been treated well. Your arm, though, what's wrong with that? And she kind of like, she doesn't really ask, she just starts like taking things up. She looks like, okay. Is it nerve damage?
I think so. I sort of woke up with it. I haven't barely had a chance to look at it for a very long time. But it hasn't worked in years, I think. It seems like it.
Okay. The rest of you seems okay, though. Can you get your last friend?
Get out and call Max in.
Okay. I'm not going fucking in there when he's in there.
I'm gonna be on the other side.
Frank steps out. She's in there for a little while and then ends up coming back out. They're okay. I can't see anything. No history of them or nothing fresh. As far as I can tell, there's no fever. They're okay.
Okay, I'll let the others know. With me.
And he starts to walk you back through. While this has been going on,
I
the
want
rest
to
of you
go
doing
back
anything at all?
and call a meeting.
Okay. You ring your little meeting bell. It's like a little dinner bell. Yeah, kind of like a school bell, just like a tring, tring, tring. And people start to gather. You hear this bell from beneath.
So you're taking a piss.
No, literally a bell. Literally like a bell.
Well, you would
Yeah.
have one. I mean, people go out doing their own things. You don't want to waste.
Yeah, if someone's in the
power
fields,
always
yeah.
It would be a ding ding ding.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I'll radio through. I want to get
Yeah.
Hogan over here.
Okay.
Have him part of the discussion.
What, do you want me to fucking swim?
Yes.
We'll get a boat up there. We'll come get you, mate.
Alright.
You seen Charles
Ferryman.
Charles the ferryman goes and gets Hogan, and a meeting is called. The rest of you are kept outside by Frank, and the meeting begins. A discussion is had. The fate of 3 people is to be decided, but
We decided it long ago.
there are other fates that are still in the balance. Everyone that's with you, and some of the complications that might arise. For now, tensions are settling somewhat, but this discussion could raise them back up. We'll see you next week. We find out what the decision is going to be. What's going to be done. We will see you then. I've been Rycon. You have all been awesome. Welcome to Dan and Verdant. And until next time, stay tuned.